Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Matt Capper, and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Today, as you can see, we've spent more silver, we've spent more gems, and we are ready to do another I built them so you don't have to. And finally, after a long await, Nogoryo is the next up, so without further ado, let's take a look from Shadowkin, the Magic Affinity Epic-based champion, Nogoryo. Faster than the eye. Attacks all enemies. Decreases the cooldown of this skill by 1 turn when attacking under an increased attack buff. Abduct by night. Attacks 1 enemy. Places a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. If this champion is under an increased attack buff, steals all buffs from the target enemy before attacking. Double Karmas. Attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Places an extra hit if this champion is under an increased attack buff. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing a block active skills debuff for 2 turns. Murderer's Lust. Passive. Places a 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns whenever an enemy's HP drops below 30%. This buff cannot be removed. As usual, we're going to take him into some damage testing. Here we've got him on stage 24 Dragon with some of my other favorite damage dealing champions. We do have the legendary Ethos for some AoE testing to get an idea. We also have one of his own clan members, Chani. Of course, we've got Whisper, and then we've got Draco, just to give a good kind of roundabout idea of how his skills are damaging compared to others. And after we do this, we'll take a look at each of their gear, including his, and we'll talk about where we're going to use him and where we think he will work really well. Other than, of course, Faction Wars if you need a damage dealer. I think this guy might be the guy for you. I really like his AoE, which is something that's kind of lacking a little bit en masse in the Faction Wars, especially seeing Ninja as a part-time champion. If you have him, you have him. If you don't, you'll never get him, at least so far. So let's take a look here. And we'll see what kind of damage we can do with him here. So, first off, we're going to debuff everyone. We kept Draco in here. He doesn't do any damage, so it's nice to see. So let's do the A3, which is attacks all. And you see what kind of damage is. She doesn't have a pure AoE, so not really trying to compare there. But here's his. Now, a couple things. This also decreases the cooldown of the skill when attacking under an increased attack buff. And he also places an increased attack buff whenever this enemy drops below 30%. And that buff cannot be reused or be removed, sorry. So I am going to test once more with that buff and see, that's something you need to know. But in this case, everyone's playing equal here. You can see the damage is pretty decent. And then we'll see Chani do her thing there. And then we can back out and we can see the damage comparisons here. You see here, Ethos doing the lion's share of damage, of course. I mean, Ethos is just shy of 7k in Savage, but I gotta say, Nogoryo, very good damage, 341 on his AoE. Chani, in comparison, 184. Obviously, she's doing other things as well with her abilities, but I would say, yeah, that's a very strong hit. This guy's not in Savage, though he does have decent attack numbers, but which we'll show in a moment here. But that's some pretty good testing. So let's now go back in. I really should do this in Doom Tower. One of these days I'm going to learn. Oh, but the affinity's bad. That's why we do it here. I sacrifice my resources for you guys. We'll just hit her with a single target there. And then we can do a single target on you. Jesus, that hit so hard. Oh no, she got extra turns. That's silly. Okay, so now we're going to do this. Attacks one enemy, places a block debuff for 2 turns. If he's under attack, it also steals first. We don't have any debuffs to steal. 76k, not a bad damage number. Now let's do hers. She does the increase on the attack for 2 turns and then attacks one enemy. Now, one thing I noticed, she's under 30% HP. I don't know why he doesn't have a buff. Did I miss something here? I'm gonna back out because I feel like I'm missing what his ability. There it is there for 2 turns, but it didn't proc when she went under 30%, which is very strange to me. I'm not quite sure why that happened. Let's take a look here. Tail of the tape. 76 Whisper, she took the extra turn, but she hit for like 185. 76, 91, so Shani's hitting a little bit harder than Nogoryo on the A2 there, but still a pretty decent overall damage on the A2. And now let's replay. I'm a little bit confused as to why that passive didn't proc there. Now we have a problem there. Let's go A1s. We'll hit you again. We'll hit you. A1. 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 I want to get her down below 30%. There, see, it worked there too. So I'm a little bit curious as to the reason why he didn't get that on the one turn there. It's very strange. But let's see the overall damage. 19. Very poor numbers. Very, I guess, in line with Shani. And then Whisper obviously just hits so much harder. Everything she does, she's crazy hitting. So his damage is good. I wouldn't call it crazy. Let's take a look at the champions now. And we'll just talk about, briefly we'll go through what we have, what we were comparing him to. Ethos here, obviously a Savage champion. He's sitting at 6908 attack at 255 crit damage. Very solid numbers. Next person up, we are comparing, oh, you know what, like a fool. Like a fool. Some of these champions are in here. Shani right there. And that should be good. Alright, so let's take a look at Whisper. Whisper's got the full kit and caboodle. Obviously, she's got a level 4 Ascension. So she's got the, or Blessing. So she's sitting with Phantom Touch, which is going to allow her to do extra damage. And you can see Artifact. She's sitting with a Cruel Piece. But her overall numbers, she's hitting at 320 crit damage. She's hitting at 6684 attack. The Blessing's giving her that chunk of extra damage. And she's just a complete beast. Anyway, and it's just that much more. You see her crit damage just with Artifacts and Great Hall and Masteries. She's still at 300 even without that. So very strong build. She's obviously going to do a lot more damage. But when we look at Shani, these are very closely placed champions. Shani here is sitting at 75 crit rate. Now her accuracy turns to crit rate. That is her passive. And that's 248 crit damage at 4391 attack. And very low HP, 29.9. She's very fragile. And but overall, pretty good hitter. But I think, honestly, this is going to be an upgrade. And you can see I don't have him in Savage or anything, but he's at 53, 174 speed, 275 crit damage, and some accuracy to land. But I think overall he was doing much better damage. You take a look at his Masteries. We have him going with the Helm Smasher and just the standard defense build for me, which is making sure I get that improved parry, I get the retribution. Those are the two that are most important to me. And on offense, I want to make sure I get that extra 8% for the first hit on each enemy, as well as hitting targets with higher max HP. What I will say right off the bat is Nogoryo has way more HP. He starts with 16.6, which is for an attack-based champion, an epic, very strong number there. You know, being able to get him to 275 crit damage while still maintaining some speed gave me about 1,000 more attack than I have in Shinoru. It seems to me that these two are going to hit very similarly, so I would say, you know, based on kind of how I built both of them, obviously I had more of a struggle with attack and still maintaining that HP. But that's because I was getting her accuracy, or trying to get her accuracy right up there, because her accuracy turns to crit rate. Is it the right answer on Shani versus? I don't know. This crit rate seems like it might just be a bit of a red herring, and I might just be better off pushing her to down a different path and just going strict damage rather than using this. But she does have some interesting skills, including an HP burn, including poison sensitivity, and can increase the duration of all debuffs by 1 turn. So you know, you can argue that overall she's got a different skill set which is good. But I think Nogoryo is probably going to replace her in my runs because he's got this attacks all enemies, which does some pretty good damage. Plus, it decreases this skill to a 3-turn cooldown if I have an increased attack, which I can plan for. And so long as I plan for it, I should be able to use it. So that's an interesting thing that is not the same otherwise. And this on a 3-turn cooldown actually has the block buffs and then steals all the buffs on the target before attacking, which we can't show in the testing, but in real time we'll be able to take him into the arena and maybe see what he can do there. And then this block active skills, it's got 2 hits. Each hit has a 20% chance for 2 turns. Places an extra hit, a 3rd hit if he's under the increased attack. So with all that said, I think it's time we give him a little test in the arena and see if we can't use him in this sort of area, because I think this is the one place where I feel like he might have use over someone like Shawnee, and we're gonna give it a go here. We're gonna try a custom team here and just see if we can get this to go. So we want that increased attack, so we're gonna bring in our Arbiter, and we're gonna bring in Lady Kimmy because we want that speed boost. Lady Kimmy is my speed lead, so I need her to be able to boost speed in this particular case. Though, spoiler alert, I may be changing that back to Lysandra. I really love Kimmy in this, but Kimmy is so good in the twin iron fortress guy that, you know, having her fast but fragile is probably not going to be a long-term thing for me. Let's go recently used first so we can get him in here, and we can still put Warlord just to give him the best chance to win here. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they're not faster than me. That would be bad. So again, first thing we're going to do, we're going to slow them down. We're going to speed us up. We're going to get that increased attack, which is really important. We're going to lock them out, and then we're going to decrease their speed. And then now we get the chance. So let's see what this AoE can do. And obviously it's going to get that lowered cooldown. Pretty decent hit. We got the weak hit there, obviously. But I would say, yeah, I mean, I think you could make an argument. That's a pretty good hit, I would say. Let's try it again here. I mean, it's hard to say in Gold 5, like, what am I hitting? You can tell by the speeds. I'm definitely, I would say, probably a good tier and a half above what I'm facing here. So that does play into this a little bit. But I will say, I mean, if he can do those kind of damages and knock out 3 people, that's gonna be pretty good. I'm hoping to get one. I'm hoping to see one where I can do a ghost second where they have buffs. Nothing here. Let's refresh and see. Yeah, like this. Oh god, this is not gonna go well for me. Okay, this is dumb of me, but we're gonna try it. Let's do that. No, let's. Yeah, I kind of need that. I also want to lock them out, and they're also going to get multiple turns on me. So this is not going to go well. All I want to do is see if I can survive. That's all I want. Do I even need this? I mean, locking them out would be nice, but am I going to get a chance? Is the question. So if he locks everyone out, we'll see. That's the problem with Gold 5 is I can't just find the right one to go against here. So here we'll cleanse them out, which is good. We'll hide them. We'll get that increased attack, which of course we need. Hopefully we can get some survivability here. I don't want these guys popping off before I get a chance. Which is exactly what they're doing. Okay, so in this case, the key here is he's going to steal all buffs from the enemy. Now, I don't think I can take this out. It's a single hit, so he's not going to take these guys out. But I'm thinking I can probably... I mean, she's probably got too high a resist is the problem. Let's give it a try. Well, he resisted, unfortunately, but we still were able to get the hit off. This is kind of a wasted one, but at least... yeah, see? I don't know why he got that cleansed before she went. Oh, that's just part of her passive, I guess, right? Alright, so she's gonna die soon, especially if he keeps getting these extra turns and shit. This won't matter for anything. Just try to take away some of that turn meter. Let's see what this AoE can do. Of course, we get countered. And of course, with everyone, yeah, see. This was just the wrong team to try against. I think the problem, and this is the problem with so many nuking champions, it's nice to be able to take away from the other team. Maybe something like this might work better. Because then I don't have to worry about cleansing because I'm not taken off. So I can just lock them out and have a little more fun here. Let's give this a try. The problem I always have with nukers that also steal is they need accuracy. And if they need accuracy, then inherently, how do you... we'll do this. I'm worried about him. I don't want to give him a one-shot chance. So we can steal the shield, I guess. Yeah, kind of. I guess didn't really do much. Yeah. We want to get the reflect off. Always fun when testing when there's things like reflect in the way and all that garbage. So I was kind of hoping for more buffs, but I guess when I brought in Warlord, I locked them out, which means they're not going to have buffs. So that's just my own stupidity. So go me. I mean, I guess the damage is okay. I don't even know if I've unlocked Mordu yet. I'm hoping not. That was a pretty good hit, though. Remember, that's 3 hits. And he only needed 2 there. So that's a pretty good A1, I'd say. Let's see what he can do on the other things here. We're going to lock them out again. He did. So I think we're in trouble here with Mordu. But hopefully she procs her. Okay, we're going to try to steal these. Gotta resist. I didn't steal anything, I don't think. Is any of that not mine? No, I didn't steal anything. That's too bad. No. I kind of don't want to do this. Yeah, so we've just boosted. Peril is probably unlocked. And at this point, we're just hoping for survival. Come on, Swift Parry. Come on, Swift Parry. Oh, good. Went to him. He survived it. I'm actually shocked. Let's go that A2. Pretty good hit. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say here. This seems like a pretty solid defensive stalwarty team. So the question is, what does that mean? Is he hitting well? Am I a product of my own gear? Hide everyone before he takes a turn. We'll go here. Like he just hit a pretty heavy set character. Heavy set. Like, usually you build out an Ursaga with lots of HP, lots of defense to just make him hard to hit. And because he's got this ability here that pops up, he's gonna get 3 hits. And if it's 15k per hit, that's a solid A1, I would argue. Of course, that's what we wanted. So I don't think he's bad. I mean, we're fighting. This team's pretty solid. Do I think he's an A class? Is he something new? No, but there, 91k, pretty big hit. I think this is a champion. You can remember, I don't have him in Savage. Let's do one more, but I'm gonna go one step further. Dear God, I don't have the. I certainly don't have the gems or the silver for this, but whatever. I do this for you guys. Let's do one more, but I'm gonna put him in my Trunda gear. I think that's the best way to figure out, can this guy smack in the arena? Can he legitimately hit in the arenas? Just give him the best gear I have. Arguably the best gear I have. I don't know, maybe it's not anymore. I don't even know. It's been so long since I've geared any of my nukers and kind of tried to min-max them again, that maybe I have better gear. But this is going to be some pretty solid gear, I think. I know I've been watching and hoping and praying for a matching set for her, because I use a broken set for her pieces, and I haven't gotten it. I'm looking for that, and I have yet to get even just a matching set here. Like, just give me a triple Give me an attack boot with a triple crit rate. Is that... That's not too much to ask. I don't think it's too much to ask. Is it too much to ask? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think it's too much for me to ask? Where... Oh, there it is. So at least I can have a matching set. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's take a look at how he's built out now. Now we've got 6,100 attack, pretty much 260 crit damage. We're not putting him in accuracy, so I think we need him in accuracy here. So we're gonna switch out to an accuracy banner. I think it just makes more sense. You're gonna want that, and again, this is the one thing that I always kind of not a fan of, is the fact that this is really good. It's got the attack on there, plus it's a reaction piece, which is always good. This is the part where I always get a little bit frustrated. So now we're at 5,500, 260, but 240 accuracy. Having a nuker that needs accuracy means that you have to sacrifice attack for accuracy. You don't get both, which is frustrating. So what I would say with this champion is if you're using him strictly for nuking, then you probably don't want to do what we just did there. We can't hit refresh too often. I don't want to go up against double force affinity here. So, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's just go up against Ford. I don't want to go up against you, Ford. All right, Ford, but if I beat you, you're buying me a gem pack or something. Let's see what happens. So we need to cleanse. And we need to survive the nuke. I don't know exactly what this team's going to do. I don't know if I can... I've pulled a lot of his shards. I wouldn't say most. He's pulled most of his own shards. But I've pulled a ton of his shards. So I know what I'm up against here. And I would say he's kind of under artifacted. He's kind of... needs a little more. So let's find out, Ford. And watch out, this will be a different Ford. I'm thinking, do I bring in Ursagar or do I just bring in a Krisk to absorb that? Or do I bring in Molly? Is my Molly still built? I haven't used her in so long. She's not built anymore. Can I build her quickly? I think Molly's the way to go here. I think Molly is the answer to what ails me. Oh, just HP stuff, hey? Who stole? Oh, Gem Curse probably did, right? Nope. Well, that's a triple in reaction. And that's a, yeah, so there it is. Alright. I don't know whether they were an honor. Alright, so let's bring in Molly here. She's in the traditional shield set. She's going to give me turn meter boost. Let's see if that's enough. Yep. Cleanse. Runaway. And what we want to do... Do we want to just try to hit everyone here? See what we can get out of it? Sure. Boom. That's a big hit. That's a big hit. I'm pretty impressed with that hit. I think that just based on that... Now, they're going to get a second chance here because I can't kill her out. And she's probably pretty good resist. But... can I steal those? No. See, there's the problem. I love the theory of the mechanic. I just wish that it wasn't so reliant on, because we're getting in trouble here. Yeah, but we too will live. See if I can get all four resisted. God, I wish one of them wasn't resisted. Should have put some accuracy. It's okay. Yeah, we lock out Trunda for sure. We hide. 3 hit. So, you know, nearly took her out. I think, you know what? I think this guy's a good alternate if you don't have one of those endgame nukers. I don't think he is, I don't think he's quite Gembo, though I'm not a fan of Gembo. I think Gembo is highly hyped. But I will say that I understand where Gembo really comes into play. I don't understand how she got a chance. I thought she was out of it, but that's okay. There we go. Easy win. Easy win. Clean living right there. I gotta say, I was actually pretty impressed with how he handled this. That's not an easy team to fight. You've got a hard-hitting Trunda with an Ascension, or a Blessing, and a +2. You've got a Duchess. I feel like this is not the same Ford. Is that you, Ford? I don't even know. Let's just log into his account. Oh, I think it needs dual authentication. Let me see. Oh, I can't log over switch accounts. Anyway, so there we go. I mean, beat him. Did good damage. I think it checks all the boxes. So why don't we just jump right ahead into final thoughts. I'll talk about Nogoryo, where I think he might be mostly used, where I think he can be helpful for you, and we'll go from there. My final thoughts on Nogoryo are, he is a great champion. As you can see here, I wanted to show you, this way right here. I actually have a 1:09 minutes. I'm sure that could be a little bit quicker. That was only one run, the last run of the day for me on this. Unfortunately, I didn't video this because it was the day after I had recorded all that. I didn't realize Shadowkin was open. I apologize, but definitely shaved about 40 seconds off, 50 seconds maybe off, because his A3 AoE and his A2 were just hitting harder than Shawnee's, and replacing Shawnee with him in there worked really well. The good news is, I really like him. I think he's a really good champion. Let's show him up here in the index. I think he's a really good champion in an index that, if you look at it, there's not a plethora of AoE champions in there. I know everyone's going to say, what about Genbo? Honestly, Genbo, outside of his passive ability that works so ridiculously, which is immune to decreased attack, ignores unkillable, attack when attacking under an increased attack. They really love that, under an increased attack. He does have some really cool abilities, but I believe, as far as just pure damage and running through, I believe that Nogoryo is a better option, and I think he's better than Shawnee, who is actually who I used until now, like I mentioned. So I really like this champion for Faction Wars. Obviously, endgame player, I would argue that I am. And I like this guy best out of the epics so far as running an AoE team, or a team that has an AoE clear. His A2 also was knocking people down in that Faction Wars 21. So I really like those. Overall, I think he's a great champion. Now, cautionary, he's not an endgame champion out of that. We showed him in the arena, and I really, again, loved what he could do in the arena. If you get this guy, or you were able to pull him, I believe he was the fusion, correct? But if you're able to get this guy early on, he can really help you get through some content. And then you're not worried, because even if you build him early and then eventually replace him as you get those top-end nukers, you know, you get your Trunda, your Ethos, your Hefrak, your whatever the case may be, Candrafon. Once you replace him, you didn't build him for nothing, because he can slot right into your arena team. And especially if you don't have Genbo, who again is also very good. But keep in mind that Genbo's a Void Affinity epic, making him harder to get. But definitely overall, I think when you look at the quality, and I will say a lot of quality champions in the Shadowkin factions, they seem to be a lot more specific. And I think when it comes to just speed of wave clearing, this guy's got you covered. Great fast tack and animations as well. So I always like to see that for those speed runs. Overall, great champion, great build. I highly recommend building him in the early to mid game. And for Faction Wars, I highly recommend using him on your team, such as I am doing myself, to 3-star him with that extra HP. Just makes it amazing. So those are my thoughts on Nogoryo. What I will say is the one failing of him, and this is the failing of a lot of attack-based champions, and it's something that if it's a PvE champion, no problem. But a champion like this, who I would argue is more attuned to the arena, or at least leans towards the arena than just standard PvE content, putting debuffs on a nuking champion that need an accuracy check are almost useless. I won't say they're completely useless, but the reality is, if I was using this as my only nuker for this AoE, there's no way I can pull that full AoE and still get good accuracy. I have to, in my own mind, make a champion with an attack banner, with a crit damage amulet. Then if I'm lucky, that crit damage maybe has a triple roll, double roll accuracy, quad roll if we're just, you know, making hay, right? And then, okay, I can put him in a Savage and maybe a 2-piece perception set to get some speed up there and that additional accuracy. Maybe I can get him to 150. If I'm late game, maybe 180. If I'm end game, 200 to 220. But that's not going to land these in high-end arena. That 220 isn't enough for any kind of resistance-based champion in the game, or even if there's a resistance lead, which there often is with champions like Lydia. So that is the kind of the one caveat. This is different, right? Because with this champion, I'm saying use him in the arena, but if you're using him in the arena, get some accuracy, but don't build them for accuracy. I just think that's the wrong way to do it. And unfortunately, that's how most attack-based champions are, unless they have the can't be resisted. Like for example, Sir Nicholas's A1, that 50-50 chance to freeze, can't be resisted, so you don't have to worry about accuracy in those cases. Now for PvE, all bets off. Like Ninja, who while you can use in the arena, he's really a strong PvE champion because of his model of freeze, AoE freeze, the boss hits on the detonation of HP burn. In that case, it's perfectly fine because though he's nuking a ton of damage, you can still build that accuracy. And ultimately, because of his mechanic, you can actually build him for a lot less attack if you need that survivability. But the PvE nuking champions are a little bit different of a vulture or of a creature than, of course, something that you're going to use in the arena. Those are my final thoughts on Nogoryo. What do you think? First of all, how do you say his name? Nogoryo. I mean, that the last ends Ryu, Nogoryo. I don't know. There's a whole lot of, there's way too many O's there. I apologize for anyone of the Nogoryo family that wants to now put a hit on my family for not saying that correctly. I appreciate you all, though. Of course, as always, let me know what you think down below, and please like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, let your auntie know, tell her about the new game of Raid Shadow Legends, and tell her to watch this video. And most importantly, please be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.